Hello, everybody. This is Lori and Johnny, and today I want to talk to you guys about things you need to consider before you go in to see an estate planning attorney. And I know a lot of people think that that's something that they don't need, but really what it does is it empowers you to make decisions now for yourself and for your family later. And a lot of people I talk to say, "Oh, I don't need anything. It's just simple for me, Lori. I don't have any assets. I don't own anything." But there's a lot more considerations than you think. And this is all about empowering you. So if I were you, I would take advantage of this time to think about some things that you probably should have been thinking about for a long time. But now that you have the opportunity and people are offering virtual rates, this is the time to take advantage of it. So I will post this blog below in the comments, but what I want to talk to you today are things you need to consider. The blog is called Practical Considerations as You Plan. So when someone comes into my office, what am I asking them? First of all, let's start with parents of minor children. If you have little kids, the things you need to consider are these types of things. I'm going to be referring to my blog and looking at it. If my spouse and I are out of town, who can authorize medical treatment for my kids if they need it and we can't be contacted? And with this, coronavirus, that's another issue. If something happens to both parents, who are you empowering to make medical decisions for your kids? These are things that we're going to talk about in our conversations with each other, and I will give you legal documents to make sure that your wishes come to life and they're legally enforceable. Next, who will be the guardians for our kids until they turn 18? Have you thought about who would raise your kids if you can't, either on a permanent basis or a temporary basis? And before you see an attorney, you don't have to have the answers to these questions. They're hard questions. And there's no wonderful answer. There's no perfect answer. And it's hard to think about these things. And, we always think nothing's going to happen to us. We hope nothing's going to happen to us. But still, these are things to think about. And what I'm doing is empowering you that if something happens, you can take care of your kids, make sure your kids are taken care of. The next thing is who is definitely not going to be a guardian of my kid. Like, who do you have a reason? You don't have to be malicious in your intent. If there's someone you just don't think is going to raise your kids the way you would want them to be raised, or they're not going to do a good job, or they're too busy, or they don't have enough money, whatever it is, we're going to get you documents that you can write that information down as well. What ages should my kids receive their inheritance? And if you have life insurance, that's something to think about, because a lot of people think, "Oh, I have no money, I have nothing to leave." You have more than you think. Once you sell your house, once you have the inheritance from the life insurance, 401k, whatever it is, when all of your stuff is put together, you might have something to leave your kids, and you may not want to give that to them at 18 years old. And the last thing is, what kind of conditions do I want to give for my kids to inherit? Do I want them to just inherit based on age? Do I want them to inherit if they get married, if they have a college degree, or maybe I want them to inherit something if they want to start a job, if they, not start a job, if they want to form a company, if they want to buy property. So these are the things I want you to consider. So I'm going to this is going to be 4-part video series about practical considerations you make as you plan. And these are things I want you to think about before you come in to see an estate planning attorney. So stay tuned for video number 2. Thank you.